Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.stampingup.net. I'm doing it again. I'm playing with the Country Flowers bundle, which is this gorgeous photopolymer stamp set and coordinating dies from the new catalogue. And I am going to be starting out by stamping these millions of times. Okay, maybe not millions, but quite a few. And I'm going to be collecting all the coloured and die cut pieces and bringing you different projects over the next couple of weeks. So if you do want to go to today's project, because you've already seen me make all these pieces, go to 4 minutes in and I will start on today's card. But as it is, I'm just stamping on a piece of A4 a whole array of different images from this stamp set, okay? We've got the table, we've got the fern, we've got 2 different floral bouquets, we've also got the teapot, and we've got the vase to put them in. And I'm going to be colouring these in, so this is going to be using Cajun Craze, light and dark. It also uses the 1900 skin tone blends, and it also uses the ivory blend, okay? And I'm just colouring that in to get a nice earthy texture. The teapot, it is grey granite, light and dark. Okay, and I'm just going with really good shading on these, trying to really get them to blend into each other. And I'm going over the top then with light soft seafoam just to add sort of a grungy green to it. The fern pieces I'm doing with Mossy Meadow, light and dark, and Old Olive, light and dark. If you want to see how I do colour and use my colours, you can check out any of my other videos on YouTube, as I do a lot of blending videos because I'm obsessed. I love them. But for this one, I am just very quickly sketching through this so you can see how I do the prep work and then how I bring that into my actual designs at the end. So again, light and dark Old Olive on this one. We've also got light and dark Lost Lagoon. I've also got dark Moody Mauve just on the top of that fern there. Okay, for the rest of it, I'm going to be bringing in light and dark Fresh Freesia with a touch of rich raspberry through the middle. And then for the flowers, I'm going to be using light and dark Pool Party with Daffodil Delight in the middle as the pop of colour. For this little one, again, I'm going to be using light and dark Old Olive. I wanted to try and keep the colours similar so that they would all work together. Light and dark Bubble Bath, a little bit of Daffodil Delight, and I've come in with just a bit of Mossy Meadow to add some definition at the end, and finished it with some Lost Lagoon. And then for the table, I'm using Copper Clay, light and dark, and I'm also using Pecan Pie, light and dark. And I'm just going over the right-hand side with dark Crumb Cake. And that is the table all done. So that's all the images. Once I've done that, I'm going to cut them so that I can fit them through my cut and emboss machine. Okay, they don't take full sheets of A4, so I just needed to cut those down. Use the die cut pieces, and I created all of these lovely little pieces. Now I keep them in little pots on my desk. These silicone baking trays are great for them because of course I can fold them up and put them in a drawer afterwards. Finally, there were some little die cuts in there that don't coordinate with the stamp pieces, so I'm just doing some sponged backgrounds onto some basic white. And then I'm going to die cut those out and also add them to trays because you never know when you might use them. So there's some flowers and leaves and things like that. So I'm going to be die cutting a whole host of those out and again putting them in different silicone little baskets like that for the card. So today's card is this one, and it's going to be using those later pieces, the pieces that have been sponged and have then been die cut out. I love it because it's really subtle and really cute. Let's get started. So you're going to want a sentiment, and I have got this Sending Love sentiment. I'm adding that onto my block, and I'm going to be stamping that using Memento ink on a piece of scrap basic white. Once you've done that, just trim it out to the size that you want it. Now you can have this as big or as small as you like. You could have it on a circle, you could have it on the rectangle, however you want it. But then what you're going to do is you're going to take some of these pieces. Now these flowers are cute. I'm using the Take a Pick tool, and I'm using the scoring part of it to go over the flower and to put some definition into it. I'm then pinching all of the corners of the flower so that it stands up. Keep doing this and working your way around, okay? And if you fiddle each petal, you will notice that it starts to stick up. Add a glue dot onto the flat flower and then just pop this one that we've manipulated on the top, and it will create this fun pop out, sort of like a star flower. You can then add yourself an embellishment. I'm adding one of the pearls in the middle and you've got a little pop-up flower. So I'm going to be doing that quite a bit on this card today with various different colours and adding them on. And that's why one of the nice things about sponging the paper was that you can get all these different colours. I really apologise for my head being the main focus of this shot. I was just leaning over the desk so I could see I was doing everything correct and just completely forgot about the camera. But hopefully you can see around my head as to what I'm doing. Okay, so you just want to keep playing with these. Now you can have as many as you like, and also these flowers come in 2 different sizes. There is a larger size and then there is a teeny tiny one. So you could do these in the different sizes as well. And you could do a card that just features these, you know, and do a wreath of them or something like that. It's just a really cool technique using all these little products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my sentiment onto my card, and I'm going to be using the little die cut pieces around that to create some definition. So pop the sentiment on, and when you're using your dimensionals, put your dimensionals towards the middle. The reason for that is when you start popping all these little die cut pieces onto the card, you're going to want to push some under your sentiment. If the dimensionals are on the edge, you're not going to have any room to push them under. So make sure the dimensionals are in the middle and you're not overusing them so that you can push all these little bits in the middle. And I'm popping the leaves underneath to create a frame. And I'm going to be adding a few more of those. I did think just 2 would do, but I've decided to add a few more, and don't be afraid to add some dimension or some levels to this. So this one here, I'm going to be using dimensionals on and popping it above the sentiment, whereas the others I've used the Tombow liquid glue and I've put them underneath. You want as much texture and dimension in this. Now, if you wanted to add something more fun, you could have blended the background and used your little blending brushes like we used when we die cut the pieces, and add a colour behind this. I didn't want to, I wanted to leave it quite pale, but really up to you how you decide to go with this. And you can pop some flat flowers as well as the pop-up flowers. So I'm not using just the double ones I had done, I'm using some single ones as well, just to add some colour in there. And I'll be adding the pop-up ones to it in a bit. Now I'm using Tombow liquid glue for the little ones because they are already a double layer and I didn't want to squish them if we put them in the post. But you could put a mini dimensional underneath, or you could use glue dots to do it. Just keep layering this up how you like and create your frame, and just keep adding more and more dimension. And then you want to add some embellishments to it. So I'm coming in with the pearl dots and I'm putting them on the flat flowers that we put in so that they match the big flowers. And then I'm just going to add this onto a card base after, of course, adding some bling. So these are our rhinestones, and you can colour these with your Stampin' blends. So I've coloured them green and added them on. Now, colouring these is a great idea because it means you can blend them to whichever product you're using. So don't forget that you can do that and add them to your card. Some liquid glue on the back and stuck onto the card base, and that is the end of this one. Isn't this fun? Having these die cut pieces at the back of your desk just means that you can pick them up and get going and create whichever cards you want. And of course, our lovely embellishments. Thanks everybody for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe so you can check out all of the rest of the projects I am making with this set. And if you have liked it, do give me a thumbs up and a comment. It's really appreciated. Everything I've used today is available from my store, slimandstylish.stampingup.net, and I'll see you back here with the next project. Bye.